Good morning from White's Pass. It is, I think, about 8:30. We kind of just were waiting around. This place didn't open until 8. We wanted coffee and breakfast. I mean, we're packed, we're ready to go. We're just getting a little bit later start than normal. We don't plan to stay here very long though. So I'm gonna go in and get some more coffee. I think I'm gonna get a cupcake because they have these big cupcakes with icing on them. And we'll get going here in a little bit and get to walking. Okay. Nobody else wanted to leave yet. They're all still sitting there. We had coffee and food and we have good cell service and internet, so we were all just sitting there. But I told myself I had to be walking by 10 a.m. and it is 10:02. I asked Hollywood and CC and Fireball if they planned to hang out for a while or what they were doing. And they all said, I don't know, I'm not ready to go yet. So who knows? They may be 10 minutes behind me, or they may never leave. I was gonna buy a new filter. They did have some Sawyer Squeeze filters there, and I would rather have another platypus, but I could use one of those. They used to be like 30, 35 bucks. They have gone up, even on Amazon. I think most places are 40 to 45 bucks. The platypus was only $39.99 though. The price of this place, you know what they wanted for him? $70. I asked the lady, I'm like, come on, is that for real? And she's like, yeah, I guess. And I said, they're usually like 40 or 45 bucks. She's like, yeah, that's probably what we paid for, and we got to make some money. So I didn't buy it. I think my filter, it's failing the integrity test. I tried again a few more times this morning. It fails every time. But it's been failing for a while and I'm fine, so I don't know. So I'm doing the road walk back to trail, and as soon as I get back to trail, we're gonna continue this journey north. And we got off trail yesterday at like mile 2,297 point something. So we will be hitting 2,300 pretty quick. I have been hiking for almost an hour, and the high today is only 74. But man, as soon as I started walking, the sun came out, and it is more humid than I remember it being almost ever on the PCT. Like, it's just sticky. Almost feels like Missouri humidity. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. And I'm not there yet, but I'm getting real close to 2,300. We should be there in another couple minutes. There we have it, 2,300. Technically the trail, the map goes to 2,655, even though we say it's 2,650. So I currently have 355 miles to go. The closures have been reduced down to only 30 miles. I'm hoping that changes before we get there, because the logistics around that one are a little crazy. There's no roads, I don't think, near either end of the closure, and the detour is apparently a very rugged trail that you don't want to do, like unmaintained. It's kind of like a rugged bushwhack. So we'll see how things transpire before we get there. But either way, assuming we're going to get to hike that, 355 miles to go, and I am ready to be done with those 355. The kicker is, after you finish, you got to turn around and do another 30. You got to backtrack to the road. So I got 385. It's a really pretty lake and meadow. I haven't been filming very much. I've passed probably 20 little lakes like this. that initial climb, I think it was 4 miles or so, wasn't bad, kind of gradual. Since then, it's been mostly kind of just meandering, flat-ish, just little ups and downs. And it's gonna stay that way for a bit. And then we do a climb, and then we enter Rainier National Park this afternoon. Okay, I'm hearing all this stuff in the water, and I finally, it's a herd of elk in the water down here. But I can't get a shot through the trees. Let's see if we can get closer. They were out in this water, and they took off the other way when I tried to come through here. And man, when I first saw this rolling in, I thought that it was smoke, but I think it's just fog. I don't smell any smoke. Well, that's really cool, but I'm sorry I didn't get it on camera. It may not have been a herd. I heard something very loud. I only actually saw a big cow and then a smaller one. But man, all of a sudden this fog's coming in hot and heavy. All right, so right here, surrounded by this perfectly quiet lake and all this fog, I'm going to take a lunch break. Okie dokie, lunch is done. It is 2:05 right now. I stopped for maybe, I don't know, 25 or 30 minutes. Had some food. A couple hikers passed. One girl came by that I kind of talked to just hello at the place we were at Cracker Barrel. I don't know her name. It's the first time I had seen her. There was a guy that I've been bouncing around with a little bit the last couple of days, but I didn't know his name. We just introduced ourselves just now. And then there was like a section hiker with his dog that I passed earlier. The girl said that she just saw there was a new fire just to the east of here, but we all agreed that this is just fog. Temperature's dropping a good bit. A lot of moisture in the air. The cork on my trekking poles were wet when I picked them up just from leaning up against the tree. I've already done 10, a little over 10. So I've done 10 and had a lunch in the first 4 hours. So I'll easily make the spot that we talked about. So we were talking about a spot that was 20 or right at 20 miles. But depending on when they leave, I don't know if they'll make that or not. And just depending on what it looks like and what time it is when I get there, I'll decide if I'm going to stop when I get there. But I'm going to go ahead and listen to some music this afternoon. I'm going to have to stop and get water, but the thing I'm looking forward to the most is I will enter Rainier National Park in a couple hours. Okay, so the trail crosses upstream a little bit, and there was a pretty good path that came downstream, so I followed it looking at logs. Looks like this one is the most common and a good trail, so we're gonna take this little fake bridge. Easy peasy, made it with no problem. All right, let's get back here to the trail, and you know what we're doing. Gonna keep on going north. All right, it's 4:40. Got a little blue sky behind us, but I'm walking along this. As you can see, look at that, how cool. There's a boundary. So I'm assuming, there's not a very good sign, but I'm assuming that maybe we're in the park now. Let me check the map. Interestingly, the far out says that it's a well-marked boundary entering the park. And all there was one white tag that said U.S. boundary. Had nothing, no signs about the park. But we are now in Rainier, as in Mount Rainier National Park. And we'll be in here for the rest of the day and a couple miles tomorrow morning. I don't think we're in here whole for a real long time. Hopefully, at least by tomorrow, I'm hoping it clears up so we can maybe get some better views of Rainier. Or a view. One thing for sure, this is some ambiance today. About 1.5 from where I'm intending to camp. And it's mostly downhill. I think there's one more little jog up and then mostly all down the rest of the way. Okay, I'm in my tent and I've got the ghostly light shining on my face again. I got to this camp spot. There was one person here. Luckily, she let me make room for me. There's really no other room here. A couple people came and had to keep going. But I've been talking since I got here, so I didn't film anything at camp. But I had dinner and snacks. And I've been talking to Candace, who's hiked like 2,000 miles and still doesn't have a trail name. She had a couple and she keeps getting rid of them. But anyway, that's all I got for tonight. This video may be short. I don't even know how much I filmed today. I'm going to have to look. And again, I'm really sorry. I saw the elk, but I didn't get them on camera. So maybe I'll do better next time. Maybe I won't. But either way, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.